What is up, y'all? Today we're jumping right into it because Dreamy Little Nails posted these nails on IG and on YouTube, and I am going to be attempting to recreate these Sakura nails today. Because we are artists, we're going to need some tools. I'm going to be using a brow pencil, a micro swab, and an orange wood stick for 3 different sizes of hoops I'm going to be making. You're also going to need some wire. This is 28 gauge wire. It's the thinnest I could find at Michael's to make the actual Sakura leaves. And then you're going to need some tweezers. And what else other kind of tools are we going to need, girl? Just show us, okay? Hurry up and show us. Oh, we're getting into it. Okay, so from the video, you just want to wrap the wire around these tools, twist them together so that you can make a loop and slide it right off of whatever tool you're using. And then you just want to cut it, leaving a little bit of length on the wire so that you can grab it and coat it in gel when we get to that point. This was my hoop that I ended up with, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this was a very hard part. Trying to figure out how to bend this wire and make these leaves was so hard for me, and they didn't even really end up coming out like the leaves. I actually bent them the wrong way too when I bent them backwards, so please go back to the reference picture if you want an identical looking nail. However, they still ended up being really cute. It's just I jacked them up a little bit. And this is the point where you can kind of see what I mean by they don't really look identical. However, they do look cute. They look like regular petals though. So I wish I would have been looking at a reference picture, but I was not because I filmed this on my phone. So I just went on and made many, many, many more little heart-shaped leaves, even though they were wrong. So here are all my leaves. I made small, medium, and large, and I made probably anywhere from 15 to 20 of each of those. The Sakura nails also featured some beaded details, but I did not have any small glass or clear beads, so I actually made my own little clear details by just cutting some more of that wire and kind of coating the end in my rhinestone glue. And then I would cure it, flash cure it, and then put it back in the rhinestone glue to swirl it around some more and just make that little glass bead look alike as big as I wanted it to be. I'm not gonna lie though, after I made the first one, I had no idea how I was gonna cure them. So I ended up grabbing a small buffing block and I just repeated those same steps by flash curing the ends of them. And I stuck them in that buffing block and then I stuck them all in the lamp at the same time for 60 seconds so they would get a full cure. I'm not gonna lie, this part had me a little bit scared because I did not know how I was gonna fill in the petals because I didn't have any UV resin. However, I just took the same gem glue and I put a glob back on the foreign paper and drug my petal through it until I felt like it was really full. And then I just semi-cured it with my torch, flash cured it with my torch. Okay, now I'm going to take this color in Sunset Suede by D&D. Honestly, this was a really good color to use. The red entity was not the color I should have used. I should have probably mixed it with a little bit of purple to make them a little more cool toned, but they still ended up being cute. I'm just basically going to take my liner brush and fill in the front of all of these petals. I didn't bother filling in the back because at the time I thought these petals should be facing this way, how I'm painting them. But I had the same process. You basically just fill in all the petals, paint them, and then you're gonna flash cure them, put them on your little foreign paper, and then you can cure them all on the lamp for 60 seconds. Okay, quick scenery change because I left the shop, but now I'm just using that red to fade it from the bottom to the midsection. I'm not going all the way to the top, but as you can see, I'm just taking a little bit of red and fading it down the petals so there can be like some dimension in those petals, putting them back on that foreign paper, and then I'm just going to do the same and cure them for 60 seconds. If you saw that finger point from before this transition, that is the moment where I was like, oh my God, the petals are not shaped right. I literally stopped filming to go look at the reference image and I was like, yep, the petals are wrong, but we're gonna keep going because it's time to start painting our bases. So I'm using Sunset Suede from D&D and I'm painting half of this stiletto tip. These are already filed, buffed, and base coated so that they have maximum adhesion and there's no chipping with this gel polish. I'm just going to use this nail art brush to kind of help me ombre this down. And I'm kind of using a motion of swiping and patting back and forth just to make it super transparent at the tips and nice and opaque at the top. I did this twice so that I could get a nice opaque look for the top of the nail because I didn't want them to be fully like see-through. Okay, so once these are cured, I'm gonna leave them as they are because they're a little bit tacky and that's gonna be good for this Mylar glitter mix to stick to. I'm using a pearl color as well as like a pink sheer color to just tap up to the midsection where that ombre starts so that the tips of these can be super glittery. And now we are going to get into assembling the Sakura flower. This was about the hardest thing I have ever done on a set of nails in my whole life. I did just want to mention too, I snipped off the excess wire from these petals before I started filming this. So just remember to do that so you don't have excess wire to glue down. And y'all, I was going through it. You can see in this next clip, it was just me versus the world versus these nails. I was getting so frustrated, but had I made the petals the right shape, this would have been a lot easier. So just remember, if you're going to recreate these, make the petals do the right things. This was definitely easier as I got more petals on there because there was something for the other ones to sit on around, you know, the main one. So it got a little bit better with ease. Also, I think my torch was dying, so the gel was not curing as fast. I just used the same gem gel that I used this entire process, and this super sturdy, like super sturdy. Makart, you really did your thing with that gem glue. Again, why am I going through it? Like, these little petals had a mind of their own. Moving on to the medium and small size petals, I kind of just tucked them in underneath these flower arrangements that I had on two of the bigger nails. And then for the other nails, I just kind of put them wherever I wanted, assorted them differently to make it look like they were falling down the nail, and they ended up looking really cute. And for anyone wondering, I did flash cure for 30 seconds between each nail because I didn't want anything to be moving around. Okay, so now it's time to add these little beaded details at the top. I just cut down the wire from them because they were a little bit too long. I dipped them in the gem glue and I arranged them behind the flower where no one would see what was going on back there. You know what I mean? Okay, so now we're gonna add some more little details. In the middle of all the big flowers, I'm adding a pearl and some gold caviar. And the smaller flower, I'm just gonna add the gold caviar. I know in the video for Dreamy Little Nail, she opted to use top coat on things before she started setting them, but I just went ahead and used a really thin top coat by Koopa. It's one of the thinnest top coats I've used to date, and I really like it for detailed pieces like this because you don't lose any of the texture in the piece. I also went ahead and top coated the underside of these nails because I wanted to get rid of the little number at the bottom, and this is what they ended up looking like. Super cute, not necessarily the exact same, but I think they turned out very, very cute, and I would wear these every day if I could. Once again, shout out to Dreamy Little Nail for making these, and I will see you guys in my next video.